Now, a new X-rated song has sent the internet into meltdown. It's by the rapper Cardi B, and it's called WAP. I'm not going to tell you what that stands for because we chucked off the telly. It's a controversial song, apparently, how shall I put it, celebrating women's nether regions. It's sitting in the top spot in the Billboard chart. It's #2 in the UK official charts, and the video, which is not suitable for daytime, except actually we've got 7 seconds, which is suitable for daytime. There you go. Video has been viewed more than 141 million times. But is it too explicit for children's ears? And does it objectify women? So we are going to make up our own minds. So, ladies, we have got headphones here. So let's pop these on and let's have a wee listen and see what we think. Let's play it. OK, I think we've got the general idea.
That's a good job. That was going straight through our ears.
Yeah, that was it.
Does it have a tune at any point?
We're honestly going to sound 105 years old throughout this whole topic. We really are.
I didn't understand a word of it.
To be honest, I listened to it last night and I just couldn't understand a word of it, Saira, kind of similar to what you were saying. And I thought, no, I'm better with words. So I had a little search, you know, to see it written down.
Find the lyrics?
Yes, the lyrics. And I looked at the lyrics and I'm going, ooh. Ooh. I mean, to be fair to Cardi B, she has said that this is not a song for children. She's got a 2-year-old child herself. But when it is so popular, then, you know, it's kind of difficult to think that they're going to avoid it. So, Saira, do you worry about what your kids are listening to?
It's not that I worry, but I do want to be engaged in what they're listening to. And I tell you why that's really important to me, because do you remember that whole time when we were having problems with kids being radicalized online? And the parents are like, but we didn't know this was happening. They were shut away in their bedrooms. And a lot of people are like, but how do you not know what your kids are doing? So I take that analogy that whilst I don't want to be a micro parent, I do feel that as they're getting older, I do want to be informed. And with songs like this, I think you do have to put a bit of perspective on it. I remember when I was growing up, I was sort of singing Like a Virgin by Madonna. I didn't really know what that meant. But, you know, as you get older, you think, oh, that's what it means. But I think you just have to put it into context for children. But then how do you stop them listening to it?
How do you do that in real terms? I mean, do you go and sit in their bedroom and say, right, let's hear what you're listening to? I mean, how do you actually do that?
Well, I mean, that's like sort of saying, well, how do you know your kids aren't being radicalized online? You just have to find a way of just being engaged with part of their life when it comes to that. You have to find a way. And, you know, I kind of sort of say to Zach, you know, what music do you like, what you're listening to? And sometimes he has it on a little bit louder. And some of it is explicit. And I sort of say to him, do you know what they're saying? And he doesn't really, he just likes the tune. Yeah. But you kind of have to put it into perspective.
I do a double whammy because when I want the girls to clear up, this is a really good tip, girls at home, is that I say to them, put your music on as loud as you want, and they will always clear up. That's how you get your kitchen cleaned.
But your neighbours love you.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it's your parents.
Yeah, it's my parents, that's lucky. But so they blast their tunes and I listen, you know, because I do think, I agree with Saira, you've got to be a bit engaged. Don't always just go, all that awful pop music, you know, which my mum used to do. But the other day we were doing this and Kiki said to Maddie, Kiki, my 13-year-old, said to Maddie, oh, turn this next one off for Mum. And I was like, oh, why, what was it? She goes, no, Mum, it wouldn't be good for you. There's a lot of swearing, there's a lot of bad words in it, and the things that they're saying, it's not good for you. I was like, oh, my God, am I at that age where I'm being protected by my children? I mean, yes. I don't believe in policing what they listen to or what they watch. I don't, but I do believe in having conversations about all this stuff. And a tune like that, there's this really, I think, a lot of people have got very mixed up about what being an empowered woman is. And I like to have those conversations with my children because I think, actually, those words are not about a woman being empowered at all.
It's not just about the words, though. It's also about the actions. I mean, if anyone was to watch that video, you would see that, you know, she acts out very kind of sexually explicit moves. And twerking has become like a fun thing for little kids now, hasn't it, Jane? I mean, would that concern you?
That's it. Not in my house.
No, not in my house.
No,
Really?
I mean, for me, it's about making money. Time-old thing through the music business. It's like, how can we do something that, you know, it's like when the Rolling Stones versus the Beatles. It's like, as Saira said, Madonna for our generation. It's the thing that kids are listening to that the parents are going to go, ooh. But for me, it's all about making sure that your kids don't hear things like that too young. So, you know, Grace, who's now my youngest, I'm so glad that I'm kind of out of all that now. She's 16. If she listens to that, she kind of knows it for what it is. But I wouldn't, you know, if I had a 7 or 8 year old, I wouldn't want them listening to that because I don't feel that their brain and their experience in life is quite yet enough to understand what that record is really about.
Isn't that what makes it OK, that they don't actually understand it? It's just words.
Well, that's right. It's whether do you want to point it out to them or do you want it just to skate over their
No, I mean
heads?
that they understand what it's about, which is actually a cynical making money exercise.
I see what you mean.
Right,
because the minute you get banned or the minute you get talked about, you go to number 2 in the Billboard chart.
But kids are copycats, aren't they? I mean, Saira, that's what they do. And they see what their friends are thinking about and talking about and watching, and they want to kind of mimic it. In terms of... I mean, twerking has become a bit of a joke, but actually, if you're going to be a bit serious about it, you know, it clearly does portray a very particular image of women sexually. I mean, does that bother you with Amara? What age is Amara?
Yeah, I mean, Amara's 9 years old, and, you know, I don't know if people criticise me or think I'm a bit weird, but I do want my children to have a childhood. I feel like they're living in this world where it's so overly sexualised. Even like going to the beach, you know, I put Amara in a swimsuit. I don't put her in a bikini because I feel like a swimsuit's just more appropriate. And to start separating her boobs from her, you know, bottom half at the age of 9, I don't feel that's appropriate for her at this age. I just want her to have a childhood. And I think twerking is done by older ladies but copied by younger girls, and that's not quite right.
I'm so relieved twerking wasn't about when I was a kid. I look at it and I think, how exhausting is that? I mean, you need to be an athlete, these things. There's one popped up the other day on Instagram and I was just transfixed. I couldn't stop. And I thought, is this what girls think they now have to do? It's like a battery bunny. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. It's just wrong.
Let's do the bump like we used to do in the 70s.
I thought you were going to make a kind of
work.
profound point about female objectification, and you come out with, it just looks exhausting.
but within that objectification, now you're going to have to exhaust yourself like that as well. No. I don't approve of twerking.
I don't approve.
I do sound 105. I'm so...
Well, and another day, sorry, let's have the conversation about the bikini, because that's never occurred to me before. Never occurred to me.